What is up, guys? So today I'm going to talk about being homeless around the Christmas time and try and put a little bit of appreciation on what you have in life, even if all you've got is like a shared room in a shared house, or you've just got one little room with a big back TV and a shitty little kettle in the corner. Even if that's all you've got, there's people out there that haven't even got that, and they'd give anything just to have what you've got, just for one night. I know when I was homeless, I'd have fucking killed just to have one nice, quiet, dry, warm night where I can just relax and put your feet up. And especially around Christmas time, it's the worst part of the year to be homeless. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. Just before I start, I just want to say I've just finished watching the boxing. David Benavidez, I think he's probably my most favourite fighter at the moment. I've been watching him for a while, and it fills me with joy when I see the old videos of him when he was just a little kid and he'd gone to the gym because he was a big fat dude. And he looks like Dwayne Johnson, like a young Dwayne Johnson. He's got the big broccoli haircut, fat as a pig, and he's bouncing around with baggy clothes on in the boxing gym. And to see how he's progressed from that, he's lost all the weight, he's won a world title, I think he's unified, he's moving up in weight and winning belts. And it's just, you've got to respect the hustle, because he's such a nice guy as well. He's not one of them that's growling and angry all the time and starting trouble, which, it's nice to see that. Like Ben Eubank, that first fight, it made for an amazing fight because they both hated each other so much that either was willing to do anything to win, and the first fight was amazing. So it's good to see that now and again, but you don't really get that from Benavidez. He just knows how good he is, and he's got such a good, exciting style, throwing loads of punches. He don't take a backward step, and he just overwhelms his opponents. And he's such a nice guy, and it's just nice to see. It's good to see. And I won a treble as well. I backed, what did I do? I did Benavidez KO, Bam Bam to win, and Devin Haney to win as well. I got about 3-1. I think won about 30 quid. So I might put it all on a roulette wheel, and then when it loses, smash my computer like Charlie P. But yeah, I really enjoyed the boxing. He won by KO against Anthony Yard. It was a good fight, exciting fight. But he's definitely my most favourite fighter. Now, I was watching something this morning, what's prompted me to do this video today, and it's a show on TV. It's an old show called Skint. It's on YouTube if you want to go and watch it. It's interesting, and it's showing you people who are skint. And there's a guy on there called Vernon Burgess, I think his name is. And he sells the Big Issue, and I was watching him, and he was homeless. He's got mental health struggles, he's had a lot of challenges in life, he's got absolutely nothing, but he's one of those people where if you give him £1 million, tomorrow he'd wake up with no money. He's that fucking stupid. He just buys ridiculous, silly things and blows. He'll spend like £1,000 on something and then sell it for 200 quid. It's fucking thick as shit. So he's obviously mentally challenged, and it was just showing you him on the streets. He was homeless, and he was trying to get a room in the Salvation Army, and he went in there, and it was freezing cold like it is now, and he was so worried and concerned because he was worried he was going to die on the streets because he didn't have nowhere to go. And he was saying, you know what, it's only because I'm a trained soldier with the army that I probably survived last night. And he was on the phone to the Salvation Army, and he's saying, I don't think I'm going to get a bed here for the night. And then he got through on the phone, and he says, yeah, you can have a bed for 2 nights. And he was fucking buzzing. He was like, yes. He says, oh, that's such a relief. And so he's gone to the Salvation Army, he's got his head down. And then the next morning he was up, he was walking down the streets, and he was looking for tab ends on the streets. And he came up to this little bit of underneath some flats. So obviously people have been smoking and throwing the tabs out. So there was a big pile of dimps on the floor, and he was fucking buzzing, mate. He was like, oh, look at this one, look at that one. And he was delighted, fucking buzzing over a pile of fucking dimps in the streets. Do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't even walk past that, would you? You wouldn't even notice it. But to him, it was a result. It was a score. And that's what it's like when you're homeless, you know. You've got nothing, especially at Christmas. I remember when I was homeless, and oh man, it was treacherous. I see people on Facebook now whinging and moaning, oh, it's cold, I'm going to have to put the heating on, and it's freezing. I said, fucking mate, you do not know what cold is. You don't know what cold is until you're trudging around the streets at 2 a.m. It's snowing, you're moist, your clothes are moist from the condensation in the air. You've got nowhere to go. I remember that's fucking cold. Cold weather that can kill you, and you've just got nowhere to go. I remember when I got locked up for, I think it was shoplifting or something, and I'd been in the cells. I was a heroin addict, I was homeless, and I'd been in the cells for like 2 days while they were fucking gathering evidence and getting extensions, and then they couldn't get me for it in the end, so they let me go at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was full-blown withdrawing, and anybody who's withdrawn from heroin will tell you you're freezing cold anyway. So imagine being out in the cold, in the snow, when it's, oh, mate, I had headache, you know, stomach ache, you feel sick, you can't sleep, you can't eat, you're exhausted, and I was just trudging around fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. And one of the worst things is really depressing and sad and lonely. And you go past somebody's house and you can see they've got a nice warm house, they've got the Christmas decorations outside, they've got a nice warm glow and the TV on, and you'd walk past and you'd be like, fucking hell man, why can't I have that, you know? Why am I stuck in this miserable world of addiction and hell? You know, all I want is that. and you know, you can't have it. And it's depressing. You feel suicidal. You think, what's the point? How can I continue? What's the point of me going on if this is my fucking life? And yeah, it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. And what I used to do was, I used to sneak into the Doncaster Royal Infirmary. Because like back then, you didn't really have mass immigration like you've got now. So half of the hospital, I mean, you can't even get into the hospital with an appointment now. But back then, half the hospital was empty, so you could just walk in. All the wards would be empty beds, so you just walk in there, grab some covers, jump on one of the beds, pull the curtain around and keep in there. But even then, you can't really relax because you've got the thought of the police coming, the security. You know, if somebody sees you, just phone the police, and then you've got gear on you in your pockets, so they're gonna fucking drag you off and lock you up. And it's just it's a miserable, treacherous existence, just walking around the streets, just wishing, craving, just an intelligent conversation, somewhere you can sit down and talk to someone and relax and put your feet up and have a cup of tea and everything in life what you really take for granted, you know. And you lose track of that. And you just focus on, well, I ain't got this car, or I ain't got that job, or I ain't got this. Well, there's people out there that ain't got anything. And I used to sneak into the hospital as well. There was, I think it must have been like where the doctors, if they come overnight for something, there's like a quarters where they could sleep. And there was like a keypad on the door, which I sneaked in one day and did a bit of sneaky baghead fucking undercover work. And watched this bloke put the keypad in one day, and I thought, okay, that's how you get in there. So I've gone in, and I used to, like, if there's no one around, I'd put the keypad in, and obviously I wasn't a doctor. You could see I looked like fucking Scotty G. So if there's someone there, I'd just get turfed out straight away. But if there was no one there, you could just sneak in and go upstairs. And they had like a games room where you could sit down and have a bit of a boot with a heroin. But again, like I say, you're always looking around if somebody's there. But the bonus was, the thing that I used to go for mainly was, there was like 5 fridge freezers in a row, and it was full of food. You know, just all types of different food. You could just go in and just eat what you want. And because when you're on heroin, you don't buy food, you don't get your hair cut, you don't buy clothes, you don't pay rent, you just buy heroin, that's it. And that's what heroin does. It takes all your problems in life, takes them away, molds them all up into one big problem, and that's getting heroin. So that's all your focus is on. And you can't get food and store it anywhere because you ain't got nowhere. You're homeless, you don't pay rent, so you get kicked out. You don't buy clothes, so you're all scruffy, your hair's all over. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. But I used to go in there and sit down, have a little boot, and then I'd go through the fridges. And, well, to be honest, I didn't bother with the fridge. It was straight in the freezer, because you can't really eat proper food when you're a heroin addict. All you can stomach is sweet stuff and cakes and biscuits and that sort of thing. So I used to go for the Magnums. And I'd just sit there and eat like fucking 9 Magnums in a row, because you're so hungry. I must have weighed about 7 stone. You could see every single bone in my body. I was so skinny. My diet was like 2 fruit corner yogurts every 2 days or something. When I start feeling dizzy, I'm like, right, I've got to eat something now, so I'm going to fucking pass out. So you get real hunger that's overwhelming. And when you get 2 boxes of Magnums, it's fucking, honestly, you've never tasted food as nice as when you've gone 2 days without it, and then you finally get it. I remember when I was on crack, and I'd not ate for like 2 or 3 days, and someone came around with a pizza. It was just a cheap, shitty little pizza from one of them foreign places, and he's come in and he says, "Oh, do you want a piece of that?" And oh my God, it was the nicest fucking pizza I've ever had, because I was so overwhelmingly hungry, you know, and it was fucking beautiful. And that's why when people get clean from drugs, they put weight on, because you rediscover food again. You're like, yes, I'll fucking eat this. And that's why I have to go out running every day. I've been out this morning in the rain, and that's just a great tip for anybody, you know, depression, anxiety, fucking anything, any struggle you've got in life. I know it's easier said than done, because when you've got real bad depression, you don't want to do anything, you know, there's like a overwhelming forcing down on you, and you're like, you don't want to do anything. You have to break through that force, you know, and get yourself into a routine. I go out every morning, I put my sweatsuit on. Like this morning, I didn't want to fucking go out running. It was throwing it down with rain. It's cleared up a bit now. I'm probably going to go to the car boot if it's weather permitting. But yeah, I didn't want to go out running this morning, but the dog was fucking bouncing all over. Fuck's sake. So I put my sweatsuit on, gone for a run around the hospital. And when you get back, you know, when you're sweating and you fucking peel your suit off and you jump in the shower, it just sets you up for the day. It makes you, there's no bad things come from going for a run in the morning. You know what I mean? It's all positive. So, but anyway, yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. Just appreciate what you've got, even if you've only got a little bit. There's people out there that haven't even got that, and yeah. Just put some appreciation on what you've got, I guess. But anyway, if you like this video, press the thumbs up. I think I'm going to do that Brian Cockrell Atwood video tomorrow. I don't know if it's copyrighted though, so I might have to do a little practice run with it. And if you don't get taken down, I'll do a proper version. But anyway, if you like this video, press the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Mange 2, YouTube, Mange 2.